on Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by FitAid. I think we're going to call this Trade Talk Live. Monte, Poole, Kerith, Burke. The West is on fire. Kevin Durant back in the West. He is now a Phoenix Sun. That's Monte's fire alarms. Ah! Our whole newsroom, I think, erupted when we heard this. Okay, the trade is the Suns get Durant. The Suns are going to send Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jake Crowder, 4 first-round picks and other picks and stuff to the Nets. Okay, Monte, as I look around what's happening in the West, Kyrie going to the Mavs, you've got KD going to the Suns, just some of the changes happening right now. The West is getting better. Oh, forgot what the Lakers did today.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? The West
Yep.
is getting better. Will the Warriors be left behind?
At this point, yeah. At this point, you have to say that the Mavericks, when they added Kyrie Irving, that was them saying, we're all in right now.
Yes.
Kyrie could be a rental. He could be gone in next season.
Yeah.
He could be gone.
Yeah.
So we don't know how good they're going to be, but we know that Dallas is really good now, and Kyrie will make them better. I mean, they had Jalen Brunson last year. Kyrie's an upgrade over Jalen Brunson. So we'll see where that goes. Now, but then you have the Lakers who, they've made some nice moves. They were not a very good team a month ago.
No.
But and they didn't know they were misfits. Russell Westbrook and and LeBron James and Anthony Davis was hurt, and now AD is back. LeBron is still playing. It's important that they've done some things. Adding Rui Hachimura is a good move for them, and that was about a couple of weeks ago. And then today, you add D'Angelo Russell, who's a 39-40% three-point shooter.
You reunite with D'Angelo Russell.
Yes.
That's an interesting journey.
Yes. And he's a different D'Angelo Russell than he was then.
Yeah.
And more mature. I don't know.
But he does have career highs in shooting this season. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's playing well this year, but he's now in LA, and that could be good for him too. I mean, the Lakers needed shooting. Adding Russell, adding Beasley, that addresses that need.
Yeah.
So you added Hachimura, Russell, Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt. Lakers are much better than they were a few days ago, even.
I know we're going to skip around a little bit, but go ahead, tell me.
The Suns.
Sorry.
Whoa. You know what? Here's the thing.
Ignited the world.
The Suns' new owner took over today.
Yes.
Today.
Okay, and he's going to press that red button. It's the nuclear button.
He came in with a Bigfoot. Boom.
Okay, spend. Listen, I want to
We are going to do this now.
Here's where things stand right now, okay? The Mavericks are 4th in the West. The Suns 5th in the West. The Warriors 9th in the West after the loss tonight. We should acknowledge that they lost tonight. They are 28 and 27. We will talk about the game just a little bit later. The Lakers sitting in 13th. But, when you see how clustered things are in the middle, you wonder, of the Western Conference standings, you wonder, what are teams feeling desperate enough to do to move up? To me, it feels like the Warriors look at the cluster in the standings. They're like, we're going to be okay. It's still tight enough that we're going to be okay. We'll make it to the playoffs. Other teams are thinking, we need to push in now. I mean, what are you hearing right now about what the Warriors might be thinking about making a move? Well,
they're still looking at a move, but I don't know what they can do right now that'll match what has been done by these other 3 teams.
Yeah, understood.
The Lakers have kind of remodeled their entire roster. They've added 4 players that are going to help them right now. The Suns adding Kevin Durant, and he is Kevin Durant. So, and by adding Kyrie Irving to the Mavericks, you've got a team now with 2 superstars. So the Warriors, I don't see them getting a superstar unless they trade a superstar. And they ain't trading Steph Curry.
No. I don't think they dismantle what they have in the starting lineup.
No, and so I think, a few weeks ago you could say the Warriors, if they're healthy going into the postseason, they don't care who they play. They take their chances. Now the road is going to be a whole lot harder.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Denver's already good, and they're number 1 in the West right now. The Warriors, I think, can handle Memphis still, I think. But now Phoenix with Booker, KD, Ayton, CP3. I mean,
that's your contender right there. On paper, that's your contender.
On paper, that's the team that should win the West.
Yeah.
They got to catch Denver though, and Denver's really good, really good.
Okay.
And Dallas is going to be good too. I think Dallas is a level beneath the Suns and the Nuggets right now, and maybe even I think they're right there with the Grizzlies maybe.
Yeah.
all four of those teams right now are in better condition than the Warriors are to make a serious postseason run.
Yeah. Okay. So the Wild Wild West, some earthquakes here. We thought we would be talking about earlier in the day what the Lakers were a part of. They were part of a 3-team trade. They sent Russ to Utah. They also sent former Warriors Juan Toscano Anderson and Damian Jones to Utah. The Lakers acquired D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt. As far as Vanderbilt, that was a name that came up as potentially a Warriors target. Well, that ship has sailed. What do you think about how the Lakers got better here?
Well, first of all, they got rid of Russell Westbrook.
Yeah,
they got off a guy that really was never a good fit for them from the start. Never has been a good guy for that roster. Russell's a ball-dominant player who does not shoot the ball well. So if you give him the ball, and you got LeBron out there, then what's LeBron going to do? So it's duplication right there. Now you lose Russ. It's still LeBron's team as it was before, and that Darvin Ham, the coach over there, had done a pretty good job of juggling LeBron and Russ. Staggering them in the lineup. But now he doesn't have to worry about that.
Okay.
LeBron, it's your team. You got AD over there. He's healthy. Okay. You got shooters now. Malik Beasley's a shooter. D'Angelo Russell is a shooter who can also play make.
Yep.
So. The Lakers you could laugh at the Lakers a month or two ago. Don't laugh now.
Yeah.
Do not laugh now. They're a serious team right now.
We also saw that the Raptors got Jakob Poeltl from the Spurs. Jakob Poeltl is a center that was also a potential Warriors trade target to help bolster their front court. There are names that were mentioned as Warriors targets, and they seem to be coming off the board.
Well, there are four guys that they could look at, say, a month ago, 3 weeks ago, and say, this guy would help the Warriors. Rui Hachimura.
Gone.
The Wizards. Young, a nice forward. He can shoot, play offense. He's a good player, and he's got a long upside. He's got a long career ahead of him. He's very young still. Gone to Lakers. Okay. You say, well, you still got a guy like, Jared Vanderbilt. Well, no. Today, he's gone to the Lakers. So Lakers got two guys that the Warriors really would look good on the Warriors team right now. And then you say, well, okay, what about Jakob Poeltl? Because the Spurs are going to trade him.
Yep.
They're in tank mode. They don't want him. And so they traded him.
He's going to the East.
An hour ago.
Yes, okay.
Back to the Raptors, where he started. So now the last guy that was a popular name is Kelly Olynyk. He's with the Jazz now. The Jazz have no interest in winning a championship this year. They know they're not good enough to do that. They're young. I don't think they even want to make the playoffs.
Okay.
So,
which is interesting to say.
They're probably going to trade. They got about 13 and a half hours to trade whoever else they want to trade. They've already traded Conley, Vanderbilt, Beasley. And so I think Olynyk will be traded too. And he's a name that the Warriors would fit what the Warriors are looking for in one regard. He's a floor stretching big guy.
Yep.
He's not a huge rebounder, not a rim protector at all, but he's a four you can put out on the floor and make shots. He's also a good passer. He fits what the Warriors do in terms of the way their offense is, the motion offense and the ball movement. He fits that. He's played with Boston. He's played with a number of teams, and also in Miami. So, he's still available as of now, and he probably won't be in the next 13 hours, but the question is whether he'll end up here or someplace else.
All right, so that trade deadline, noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Dominoes already falling. I tried to give you some of the standings earlier. Let's look at that in a more organized way, shall we? So the Warriors are above 500, but they have not managed to get too far above 500. They have been a middle-of-the-pack team.
Yeah.
That's really tough, and right now, if playoffs were to start today, they would be in the play-in. It's really not where they want to be.
No. The Warriors have made 4 attempts to get 3 games above 500 this year. And every time they've tried, they failed. The best they've been this year is 2 games over 500, 2 games over 500. And for a defending championship team, it's not a good look. They know they're not as good as they want to be. They haven't been, and they know why. Tonight, Portland out-hustled them, outplayed them, out-rebounded them, crushed them in the paint. There was just... And you saw, I thought, tonight's game, if you look at the Warriors and say, God, they could use some help up front. Yeah, you knew that all along, but you really notice it when Kevon Looney gets in early foul trouble.
Yes, it forces the Warriors to play small.
Yes, Kevon goes out, and the Blazers are like, oh, layups, layups. And the Warriors are reach, foul. The Blazers shot 32 free throws and missed 1.
Yeah, you know, looking at the box score, the Warriors made more threes. That's usually a recipe to win. 21-8 was the difference there. They had fewer turnovers, 11-20. Usually, I look at those things immediately and say, this should have been a Warriors win. But when you give the other team 31 points to equalize the distance that you're trying to make, man. And then Dame is clever. We know that.
When you get clobbered on the glass, 47-32. You know, that's a whopping. That's you've been hammered there.
Yep.
And then 66-42 in points in the paint. I mean, that tells you that you got beat up. And Looney could do some of that. He could help some of that. But if he gets in foul trouble, where are they going to go? It's Draymond and it's basically Draymond and JaMychal Green who can do some of that. But against guys like this, you know, when you're looking at the way the Blazers are coming after this, it wasn't going to be the Warriors' night in that way. They had to win this game by playing smart basketball and by kind of finding a way with defense like they did late in the first half. Yeah. They tightened up on defense, created some turnovers, and got some easy buckets. Fourth quarter, the end of the game, just the opposite. They went flat.
All right, the Warriors need to move up in the standings. They're going to have to do that playing without Steph Curry. When we come back on Dubstock Live, brought to you by FitAid, we'll take a look at some of the individual performances because guys tried in this one. Birthday Klay was one of them. Jordan Poole. We'll see if we can break down some of that when we come back.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by FitAid Clean Energy and Sports Recovery, the energy drink for athletes. FitAid Energy is naturally sweetened with only 15 calories, no sucralose, no aspartame, and no compromises.
Hey there, YouTube friends. Are you kind of processing everything like we are? Did you think you were going to go to bed tonight and then you were like, scroll, scroll, scroll? Kevin Durant! The Warriors play the Suns at Chase Center on March 13th, by the way. Kevin Durant's still healing from that MCL, but he's getting closer.
Be back by then, yes. Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Rebel to Sounds is saying the Lakers are going to be looking to smack the Warriors on Saturday. That's going to be an up-close look at this new-look Lakers team. Miguel is saying we need to take advantage of the core, develop them. Yes, if you go in that direction, the development direction, that would kind of signal that playoffs and a championship, defending a championship, are no longer the goal.
Right.
So I don't know if the Warriors are ready to wave that flag yet.
Here's the thing, too, though. Joe Lacob is very competitive, extremely competitive. And he is watching what has happened in Dallas, in LA, and now in Phoenix. And he also likes, doesn't mind the spotlight. Okay. So he may be suddenly thinking bigger than he might have been thinking a day ago.
Is he lifting the lid on his red button? Is his finger right here?
I gotta say that, I wouldn't put it past the Warriors now to make a bolder move than they would have made previously.
Okay.
This time yesterday. Now it's going to be hard to do that when you can't trade Jordan Poole, you can't trade Andrew Wiggins, and you don't, Klay, Steph, Draymond. There's your core.
Yeah.
So
don't float Hart, please. Can we come into the B block that way?
It's really hard to do anything without those five guys being involved.
Okay.
So the question is, what can they get without and keep all five of those guys?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Welcome to Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by FitAid. It's Trade Talk Live, and at the start of this game, when the Warriors were tipping off against the Blazers, Josh Hart got the news that he was traded. He's going to the Knicks. I mean, really, he was hugging guys in the layup line.
He was warming up for a minute there. Yeah.
Yes, and that's the kind of thing. Can we just take a moment, like a human moment here? Guys' lives are being uprooted here. This is family, this is career, this is all the type of things. I really want to make sure we don't see these people as pieces, you know what I mean? But
assets.
These are people. Look, Dame just got the news.
Yeah.
He had no idea. Did you see the look on Dame's face?
Yeah.
This is Josh Hart saying goodbye.
Yeah.
And one of the things I wondered, Monte, let's say you're James Wiseman, you're Moses Moody, you're Jonathan Kuminga. You've heard your names in trade talks or wondering about what the Warriors are going to do. You just saw a guy get traded right in front of your eyes. that's got to be a weird feeling. And this sort of applies to everybody. Even if you think you're an untouchable player on a team, your teammates could be shipped out like that.
Yeah.
That's got to be pretty emotional.
A couple of things, and Steve Kerr has said this in the past, and I hear I understand what he's saying. He says that this is what we get paid for. We don't get paid to make baskets. We get paid for the hard stuff, the stuff like being traded, the stuff like hearing your name in rumors.
Yeah.
These are the things that's why you make millions. And so it's a business. And everybody who is in this league realizes it's a business at some point. Some guys realize it immediately because, draft night can be wild. Guys get traded on draft night every year. Yeah. So, and if you don't understand it's a business before then, and you get drafted and you're on another team, 10 minutes later, you do immediately know then.
Oh, it's a cold world.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is that when you look at a guy like Kuminga, he played tonight like his head was somewhere else. He had a he's been playing pretty well.
Yes, he has.
Tonight, he was not good at all.
Yeah.
He was fumbling passes that were right to him. He was defensively all over the place. And at one point, you could see his frustration.
Yeah.
He was out there going like, what am I doing? And so for Kuminga to come in and play as well as he did, to play as he did, 22 minutes, he was minus 12. That's the worst on the team tonight. And so I'm not going to say that this is why, but if this is why, you'd understand, that you just saw a guy that you on the floor with you 5 minutes earlier, he's gone. And your name is in that kind of conversation too, where people are talking about being traded, Warriors going to trade this guy, that guy. This is why you got to be careful when you start throwing names around too.
Yes, yes.
And so, but if you're Kuminga or Moody or Wiseman, your name is out there.
Yeah. And
so Wiseman and Moody didn't play, but Kuminga did, and he didn't play well. He was probably the worst player on the team tonight when he was out there.
It reminded me of probably when I used to travel with the team as a sideline reporter. One of the worst nights covering the Warriors is when they traded Glenn Robinson III and Alec Burks. That was a very sudden thing, at least as far as the team was concerned. Lots of feelings, and that came after they lost to Brooklyn in Brooklyn by 41 points. So it was just a night of, oh my gosh. And then, this uproots people's lives. To be determined if the Warriors are going to do anything right now. So in this state of flux, when they just saw, Josh Hart get traded, the Warriors have to play this game, and they played it. It was a tough one. My eye immediately goes to the free throw disparity. Yeah, well, when Looney goes out, the Blazers got, okay, let's go now. Let's go attack. Go downhill. Yeah, and they attacked. And when the Blazers normally shoot a decent amount of free throws, about 25 a game. But when you don't see the big man out there and he gets in foul trouble, and Draymond is trying to do too much sometimes on defense because he has to. Because he has to. When Loon's not out there, Draymond has to do a little bit more. And so he's out there chasing guys around and trying to direct traffic and everything on defense. And so the Blazers are going off the dribble and they're going pick and roll and they're finding ways to the basket. And the Warriors are a step behind and they're reaching and fouling. Yeah. And then they go into the line. So the Warriors made a nice comeback in the second quarter there. They were down 9 after Drew Eubanks. He flies past 3 Warriors who didn't block him out. He flies past 3 Warriors and he jams a missed shot. And Steve Kerr's like, yeah. And the Warriors responded nicely. They came back and outscored the Blazers 20-7 over the rest of the quarter and took a 4-point lead at halftime. They were down 9 and they went in at half. In 5 minutes they did that. Okay, I thought, the Warriors, that timeout was effective. Didn't linger. It didn't linger. No. That defense didn't get seen very much the rest of the way. But that's what got them back into the game because they held them to 2 field goals over like 5 minutes. Yeah. And that defense didn't materialize with any consistency the rest of the way. And there's your game. Yeah. Jordan Poole, let's talk about him coming off of his best game of the season. 21 points, 12 assists in the last game. That was very important. He backed that up with 38 points tonight, the leading scorer, but 7 threes. I remember when he had 3 threes in a row. It looked like this kid couldn't miss. I think we even got was this the play where he had a dance? There you go. Yeah, he was on fire here. And they need this from Jordan Poole. He's got to step up big with Steph out of the lineup. Yeah, and not only did he have 38 points, but he had 7 assists.
So it wasn't like the Jordan Poole show in terms of I'm going to score. He scored effectively, efficiently. 13 of 25, you take it every night. 7 of 12 from 3, you take it every night.
Yeah.
7 assists, okay, that's good too. Jordan was good tonight.
Yeah, he was.
Klay was good early. He tailed off late, whereas he started missing a bunch of shots. But yeah, this is a game that the Warriors, I thought, lost because they were just not physical enough against a team that was coming after them repeatedly. And one of the reasons they weren't physical enough is because they didn't have. You could play harder. They did that for that one stretch there in the second quarter. But in the second half, they didn't bring it like they had to. They didn't bring the thunder, which is what you need to do against a team like this. And they did it just for one little short spurt.
As far as Klay, you talked about his remarkable start to this game. It looked like it was going to be another Klay game,
Yeah.
a whole bunch of threes, and he finished with 7 and
Yeah.
31 points in this game. I wonder if it's pretty emotional for him. It was his birthday.
Yep.
He talked about how much he enjoys playing in Portland. This was his hometown team. His dad was drafted by this team. He still has family in the area. It looked like he wanted to put on a show.
Yep.
And then maybe after halftime, they make some defensive adjustments on him. And then maybe, did you see the same thing I did? Did you feel like Klay got a little fatigued at the end?
I don't know if it's fatigue or just, it looked like he was trying to do a little too much.
Okay.
Which he can do sometimes. But yeah, there were moments when he was kind of walking around like, okay, he looked like he was trying to catch his breath a little bit.
Yes,
yeah.
getting back on
Yeah.
defense, I thought
Yeah.
it was just a.
So no,
okay.
there was definitely, I saw it too. And so I wondered if that
Okay.
was why, but you
Okay.
did see it. Yeah.
All right. Well, Klay and Jordan both scoring more than 30 points. It just was not enough. The team really let this game go on the free throw line. All right. Coming up on Dubs Talk Live, presented by FitAid, we're going to button this up on a very positive note. Maybe you can take a guess, but I'm not going to spoil it. We'll be right back.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by FitAid Clean Energy and Sports Recovery, the energy drink for athletes. FitAid Energy is naturally sweetened with only 15 calories, no sucralose, no aspartame, and no compromises.
Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back to the YouTube portion of it. We have trade scenarios. Fly it in the comments. I do understand how bad you guys want to see this team improve and see if they can defend their championship.
Just understand this
Man.
part about trades though.
Yeah.
You're not trading Jordan Poole. You're not trading Andrew Wiggins. They're not eligible for trades just yet.
So that's interesting. You're not trading Steph Curry.
No.
I don't want to go down this list.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to do it. It's too tough. I could not be a GM. It would be a nightmare job.
A mega trade means trading one of your big guys, one of your five, one of those. Either you can't trade Wiggins and Jordan
Because they just got extended.
right?
Okay.
And so you got Steph, Klay, Draymond. That's your core.
Yeah.
You're calling that your core. You wanna
The
break that
people
up?
who would potentially retire as Warriors if they could swing
Yes,
it. The guys
yes.
who will have statues
Yes.
outside of Chase Center.
Okay.
So what are you asking for?
So after that, what are you trading?
You're looking at 7 through 14.
Yeah. What are
Which
you trading
is-
after that? And so
Yeah.
you're not going to get a whole lot when you look at the rest of the roster. You're just not. You're just not.
Monte, there's a suggestion in here to trade Klay for LeBron. How did you come up with that one? That's
Well,
very-
the salaries are probably close. I don't know LeBron's exact salary, but LeBron's not going anywhere, especially now.
No.
Not with the team he has now.
No. I would imagine he helped orchestrate this new look team. So, yeah.
LeBron's signing off on it.
Don't trade Klay on his birthday, okay? Listen,
No.
That's cruel. Oh gosh. What a show. Welcome back, everybody, with the news that KD is coming to the West, joining the Suns. Look at what happened to the Western Conference Championship predictions. The Suns racing up to number 1, surpassing the Nuggets, who have pretty much held the 1 spot in the league, in the West for most of the season, followed by the Grizzlies, then the Warriors in 4th. So Vegas is telling us they believe it's still possible that the Warriors can defend a championship this season, but as I look at how things are stacking up, I feel like it definitely just got harder.
Well, no question.
No question.
No question. It's harder. Now, again, if the Warriors are healthy in the postseason,
Yeah.
you give them a shot, but you don't give them the shot you would have given them a week ago, because the Lakers are now a force to be dealt with. Denver already was a force to be dealt with. Dallas is going to be difficult. And now the Suns. I mean, the Suns have reason to be the favorite. When you got a trio like even CP3 at this age, CP3, KD, Devin Booker. And DeAndre Ayton is no slouch.
Yeah. Formidable.
So you've got a lot to overcome if you're the Warriors or if you're any one of those teams. I mean, if somebody said you got to pick a team that's going to come out of the West right now, I'm picking Phoenix.
Okay.
KD he's a franchise changer. He didn't do it for the Warriors because they were already great. But in Phoenix, after what they did last year, that pratfall in the postseason, the new owner came in and said,
Not again.
No.
I will never forget that picture of Luka looking up at Devin Booker like this. Yeah. But the Suns said that they had COVID, right? Or they had some sort of illness or the flu or whatever.
There was a COVID outbreak at some point or something. They said, yeah. So,
I don't know.
But they looked in that deciding game. They looked like they just had nothing left.
Yeah.
And I do believe that Chris Paul played a lot of heavy minutes last year. They overused him, I thought. This year they've been much more judicious. And he's also missed some games with injury. So we'll see where that goes. But you got KD and Devin Booker, man.
Okay. All right, we promised we would end this on a good note. This has been a pretty wild night. There was a poster that came out of this game. Dante DiVincenzo. Look at this. All 6'4" of him dunking over 6'10" Eubanks. But this just fits into some really solid contributions. Look at that, I can't believe it. I know. Everybody watching the replay up there. I know. See, even Don's like, yeah, I did that. This
Andre. Leave it to Andre.
Love it.
You got to see the movie.
Okay. So they can jump? Okay. Sorry. Let's have another feel-good moment just so I can get myself together. This is Jordan Poole and GP2 swapping jerseys after the game. Jordan Poole was talking about this is a brotherhood. He loved that guy. The Warriors were really sad to see GP2 go.
Man.
But he got his bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I completely understand why he left, but boy, they miss him.
Yeah, that's if somebody said, whose jersey is GP2 going to swap with after the game, I'd say JP, because if you watch those two guys last year giving each other a hard time at every opportunity.
Oh, sure.
Talking trash to each other all the time.
Little one-on-one.
And in practices, because GP was the defender.
That's right.
And JP was you ain't going to stop me guy.
That's right.
And it was like, woo. He asked JP about Jordan's defense, about GP's defense. He'd be like,
okay.
He ain't stopping me. And GP like, okay. So it's good. It was good.
All right, guys, that does it for this edition of Dubs Talk, the TV show. We will talk to you tomorrow on Dubs Talk, the podcast. Hopefully, we will hear from Bob Myers to wrap up decisions he made or didn't make. We'll see you then. Sharon says GP2 forever. D says I miss GP. Yeah, he was a very, very popular guy. I like seeing that moment at the end. The jersey swaps mean something.
Yes, and GP2, people like to say that the Warriors don't really concern themselves with money. No, they do. Maybe not all the time, but if money is the reason why GP2 is not with the Warriors. They decided, okay, we're not going to do that. And there was two reasons. One, the money was a lot. And two, they were like, you know what, we need to develop our younger guys. And so they went in that direction. And you kind of understand it, but I know that there were people in the building there that fought for GP2.
Yeah. And that includes players who said, please don't
they wanted to bring
him
back. They wanted to bring him back.
Yeah.
So, but that was a decision that money definitely played a part in. Now, we'll see, where they go over the next few hours. But I find it hard to believe that they're going to do nothing, because I know they've been trying to do something, but I don't know. Now, I know that some of the guys who they were looking at are now off the table.
Yeah.
I guess somebody could possibly be flipped, but I don't think that Pirtle, for example, will be flipped, because the Raptors have talked about him in glowing terms for a long time. He played there before, and so they liked what he did there. And apparently, from what we're hearing is being reported, they're already looking at maybe signing him to an extension.
Okay.
They know they need a big man in the middle. They've got forwards in Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby and those guys. they need somebody who can be in the middle there, and that's what he's going to do there.
Okay, Warriors insider Monte Poole tapping into his sources. It could be a long night. The deadline is noon tomorrow Pacific time, and then, like I said, we'll do a podcast to wrap up the day. Mm-hmm. Okay, get some sleep.
Oh yeah. Well, no.
Or no sleep. I don't know.
I'll be up for a while.
Okay.
I got things to write, people to talk to, people to text with.
That's why he's the best. All right, we will see you tomorrow, or listen to us tomorrow on Dubstock the podcast. Take care.